Okay guys, today I have another exciting video. We've just taken delivery of the Marine Bayonet, the Ontario OKC-3S. Ontario Knife Company has been producing bayonets for the military for some time now, but as you know, Ontario has just sold the company in the last year. Now what that means is a lot of their knives are becoming harder to find, and the bayonets are no exception to that. They've been reproducing bayonets for anyone to buy, but you can no longer find those on a website like Amazon. And they're just going to be harder and harder to find, and they're just going to get more expensive as time goes on. So today I have a genuine Marine bayonet. Let's take a look at it. Alright. This is not a reproduction either. This is an authentic bayonet that was issued to the Marines. So right away you see the scabbard that the bayonet sits in. On the back you have MOLLE straps for PALS webbing, so you can secure this to your kit. If we compare that to an older bayonet like the M7 we have here, you can definitely see the sheath is different, and the technology for mounting definitely changed throughout the years. You're looking at 60s technology here to 2000s technology. So let's take it off. You have two snaps here. You have one around the handle and one around the guard. Here's the bayonet. You'll notice right off the bat that it resembles another very popular knife, the USMC K-Bar, which I have right here. You can see the size is a little bit different, and they look a little different in certain areas. However, there are a few similarities, and that is due in part to the purpose behind this specific bayonet. Multiple knives were entered into a program called the Multi-Purpose Bayonet Program. It was designed, obviously, to be a bayonet, but also for hand-to-hand combat and field use. The Ontario OKC-3S ended up winning that, and production started for them in 2003. So you'll notice some similarities. The handles are grooved. The original K-Bar has a leather stacked handle. This is called Dynaflex, and it's a form of rubber, which is very durable and grippy. Similar guards, with the bayonet having the hole for mounting, and the blades are similar. They're looking at a 7-inch blade. The OKC-3S has an 8-inch blade. There's also serrations on this bayonet to help its use in utility tasks. Blade steel is listed as a proprietary high carbon steel. I'm assuming something similar to 1095 with the hardness of 53 to 58 HRC. And that is pretty soft for steel. The reason behind that is because it'll make the blade durable and less likely to break. The edge retention is not going to be that great, but it should also be very easy to sharpen. And also to sharpen on the sheath, you can see under, we'll get to it, is a ceramic rod, and you can sharpen your knife up in the field like that. The tip of the blade, you'll notice the swedge is also sharpened, so at the very top it is double-sided. The point is very defined. That lends itself to be very good at penetrating armor, and during its testing the results for penetration were very good. On the blade there is a black phosphate coating, and that is to reduce reflection. And you may notice some wear on that coating, and that is because the scabbard has a blade spring, and that reduces noise and wobble in the scabbard itself. But that does wear on the blade, not a huge deal, it just wears it down. It doesn't need to be pretty. The blade is decently thick at 0.2 inches. This, as I mentioned, this is an authentic issued bayonet by the US military. It differs a little bit from the reproductions, and obviously this is made in the USA. If you'll notice on the blade, it says OKC-3S Ontario Knife Company, and on the other side it says Combat USMC. On the reproductions it will say OKC-3S Combat. This is actually stamped Combat USMC. This bayonet is usually regarded a bit higher than the M7 and the M9. Comparing to the M9 bayonet, which I don't actually have right now, that's going to be the next on the list. Like I said, they're getting hard to find, so we'll see what I can do. But this is generally regarded higher than those because it makes a bit better of a field knife, and one of the biggest things is the tang. So this is a full through tang. The tang goes all the way through, probably makes it similar to the tang of the K-bar. Though it's not a true full tang like you would consider an SE knife, it is a full through tang going the length of the handle. The M9 bayonet screws in from the bottom and the blade can be taken off, introducing a weak point to the knife. So this knife will not have the same issue breaking at the guard like the M9 bayonet did. Now let's compare it to the M7 bayonet as well. So you can see the M7 bayonet is considerably smaller and just has a different design overall. Where the M7 bayonet was modeled after an old trench knife, the OKC-3S makes a better utility field knife. Where the M7 bayonet is shaped like a dagger, also has a double edge at the very tip. Just a much different style of knife. And for this being an issued and used bayonet, it is in very good condition. Because these were issued to Marines, you'll be commonly seeing them on M16s and Mossberg 590s. In fact, you can look up pictures of this bayonet on the front of M16s. Plenty of pictures online. In case I didn't show it before, the handle has USMC and the Marines right on the handle. And here it is on the front of a 590 shotgun. This specific bayonet just about fits over the magazine tube cap, just enough. It's definitely a large bayonet. And here it is compared to the M7 bayonet, so you can definitely see there's a little bit more size there. Let's take a close look at the sheath here. Or scabbard, that is. You have some elastic to hold the bottom in. Take that off and you have access to a ceramic coated aluminum rod, and there you can service your knife or your bayonet. That's pretty much all there is to that. Well, I almost forgot, but let's go ahead and do a sharpness test. Now that is not too bad. Who knows when the last time it was sharpened and how hard this thing was used, but it's definitely usable. The swedge is not very sharp, but doesn't necessarily need to be. And serrations aren't really going to test the paper that well. But the plain edge portion is doable. Very happy to get my hands on one of these finally. So if you've enjoyed the video, go ahead and like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you around.